Hey there, I'm Katie Joy, the Global Butterfly. And if you're a spiritually motivated individual or entrepreneur who wants to clear the crap that's been holding you back so you can clarify your purpose and activate your full potential, then I'm the gal for you to share some content. And today I've got a question for you. Do you ever wonder how to get yourself energized or motivated to take real peak performance action that is aligned with what you're really trying to create, that's rich and juicy and really feels good? Yes? Well, today I'm going to share with you 3 energizing rituals that I use daily to help get myself into a state of peak performance for being fully present and taking massive aligned action. Hey, so as I promised, I said I was going to teach you 3 of my personal energizing rituals that I use every single day that helps me to activate my full potential, my peak energy. And this works incredibly well. And I'll give you the background why before I give you the 3 strategies. So the first thing is that words are powerful. They are language. Your words you use are either a wand or a weapon. And the words that we use create a story. And inside our head, we create beliefs and stories, these narratives of whether we're good enough or not good enough, or we make assumptions. And if we're paying attention, when we're paying attention, we can catch those stories and change the use of the words so that instead of weaponizing those words against ourselves, which lowers our frequency, lowers our energy, we feel pretty bad if we're telling ourselves, hey, oh my goodness, I'm going to jump on a sales call and what if they don't buy? And you're thinking about your story about making the money in the bank or making the conversion or worse, worried about being rejected, right? If you've got that narrative going on, those words are weaponizing against yourself. And that narrative is creating a focus in your mind that is allowing you to then imagine the worst case scenario. And you're already activating your fight-flight system and preparing yourself for rejection because that's the story you've been telling yourself. So physiologically, you have a response which lowers down in the frequency and you feel less energy. You feel avoidant, right? You don't want to do it. So what if instead you actually have words that you're using as a wand to help you move your focus in the direction of where you want to flow that energy? Because wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. And so what if instead you were actually creating a narrative in your mind's eye and in your body, having the actual response? Because the narrative, if it's a useful narrative of connecting with a powerful outcome of really showing up and serving, being fully present, helping someone, giving amazing value, whether it's a sales call, whether it's an interview that you're going on, whether it's having perhaps a difficult conversation with a partner or a friend, and just imagining the best case scenario, then you're going to feel much more connected to that and you're going to feel really energized with it and move towards creating the action with that. And you'll be more present because you don't have your nervous system fired off in flight and flight. Instead, you're in rest and digest. So it's really important to have this awareness around words or language being the director, the commanding station of what you're putting in your operating system, because that's what you are essentially, the most powerful computer ever. And the words you are using are no different than putting the question into Google or the search statement in Google. What you put in, you get back. And so make sure that the words you're using are powerful words that are going to create the narrative, direct the mind movie that's going to create the focus that you are then connecting your energy to. Because again, your words direct where your attention goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And then there's a physiological response to that because your brain is already imagining. And whatever you imagine is real to your body. Your subconscious mind will act on it. Let me give you a quick example. Hold out your hand and imagine that you have a lemon in it. Cut that in half and in half again. So you have a beautiful, thick, beautiful, juicy piece of a lemon wedge. You know, one of those really sweet lemonade lemons where they're really rich and juicy, and give it a little squeeze so you got some, lemon juice dripping down your arm and running down to your elbow. And just now look at that lemon. In a moment, you're going to take a bite of it. You're going to bring it to your mouth and you're going to bite into it. Now, even as I describe this, and if you played along with me, did you notice that your mouth is now salivating more than it was before I described the lemon? Did you eat a lemon? No. You're simply connecting energetically with your mind. You are already imagining it. Your brain thinks it's real. It's going to respond and have a neurotransmitter that fires off and responds to the rest of the body. And there's going to be a hormonal response so that your body responds to that. And you're now activating your nervous system to, respond to that. So are you in fight and flight or rest and digest? What hormones are being released for you to be able to move forward because you've imagined a certain scenario? So make sure that your words are being used as a wand, not a weapon against yourself and others. And make sure that you have directing those words to direct your focus. And here's another tip, right? If that doesn't work enough for you, then you want to be able to use your physiology to disrupt the pattern of thinking. If you're having I tell my clients that, when we're weaponizing our words, it's like going into a cinema complex and choosing the worst horror movie to go and sit in and watch and over and over and over again. Go, oh, I don't like this movie. So you walk out and you choose another movie, but it's another horror movie. And so you get to choose which movie you're going to play in your head. Walk out of the cinema complex and start being the director of your life, that you create the movies, right? And so you create the script and imagining that the best case scenario. You're making it all up anyway. So you may as well make up the best case scenario instead of a horror movie. So language and the focus and the physiology is going to give you that power, your energy, to be able to move forward. So with that background, let me share with you the 3 key things that I do that are rituals that make sense lined up with what I just shared with you. So the very first thing that I do every single day is I'll start with vision. So where I'm actually putting my focus, which I'm using language in my mind's eye as well to direct me there. But the vision process, when I'm waking up first thing in the morning, right in that little gap where you feel like you're not sure if you're in your body yet, and you're not quite here on the planet back after having a sleep, and you know you're waking up, but you can't quite, sometimes even can't even feel you moving your body yet. You're moving from delta sleep in a brainwave into a alpha brainwave, and that is the most beautiful slipstream to insert your dreams, your visions, your goals. And in that moment, every single morning as I wake up, I have a habit of running my goals, my big visions, and even the goals that I want for that day. And I'll run them and I'll see them as successful. That mind movie that I was just telling you about, not horror movie, a really powerful, empowering one. So I'll do that. I'll also do that late at night as well. And even if I'm going to jump on a sales call, I'll quickly run through that visualization process. Or if when I'm going to create a sales page, I'll run through the visualization process. Or if I'm going to catch up for a meeting or with a friend, I run through that visualization process of seeing the best outcome and having the best experience. Whatever the situation is, I run that intentionally. Now, the second thing that I do is I also create an intention prayer, or I state an intention prayer. So if it's for example, going on with a client who I'm going to do a healing session with, or a strategy call or a discovery call, there'll be one of those. Well, what I'll do is instead of because a lot of my clients go to me, oh gosh, hey, how do I do it? How do I make the sale? How do I do this? How do I do that? I'm like, let all that go, because that's the ego, right? That's the ego worried about the self, worried about the rejection, worried about being good enough, worried about, if they're going to say the right thing, worried about making the sale, worried about their bills if they don't make the sale. And so you've really got to let all that go, have no attachment to it. Instead, you want to be able to be really fully present and with your soul. And the best way to do that to begin with is to use an intention prayer where you invoke and you state clearly, you set the command, higher self, work through me. May I be of the greatest service and touching the lives, being fully present with those who receive the gift of my presence and the words that I'm about to share. Let me be of the greatest service and the greatest value, and so it is. And in that moment, as soon as you invoke that prayer, you let go, you get calm. I bet you felt calmer just hearing that, right? And you get calm, and then you're able to be fully present. Rather than it being about you, it's about them. All right? So that's an intention prayer. Now, are you ready for this? Because the number 3 thing that I do is I actually use some anchor music. This is a ritual that I use. I'll use anchor music. Now, I typically don't listen to a lot of music unless it's meditation or binaural beats or sound healing, but there are a few songs that I will use. And when they go off, boom, I've anchored them to myself to really react to and respond to it intentionally. So I love the song. Are you ready for this? And I like to jump, and physically move. You can't think of anything negative or be depressed or have self-doubt if you're jumping up and down like this, right? You just can't. And so you can shift the narrative in your mind, you shift your energy into a peak state by physically moving. So those are my three things: is the visualization, the intention, prayer, and anchor music. So pick a song that works for you, and create an intention prayer that works for you, and definitely create a visualization that is a powerful experience that you see the best result, not the worst. You see the best result and really feel it in your body, not just in your mind. Feel it in your body. And then when you get to that real, like, oh yeah, I'm there, get up and jump. Yes, anchor it in. It's a very powerful way to energize your physical being and your mind and your body and your soul all on board, so that you are fully present, ready to take massive aligned action that is really successful for you and the people that you connect with. I hope this has been of massive value for you today. If you've loved it, and you're on my channel, please hit the like, subscribe, share it, leave a comment, and I look forward to sharing with you more in the near future.